Good morning. So very briefly about the communication stations.
So you have only 12 minutes.
I shall complete it in 10 because theoretically there is nothing much to tell in communications.
Yeah.
So the main thing is that we have got 10 minutes in a communication station. There will be 2 stations. So firstly we have to, how I practice it or rather I used to practice is that you have to divide the station in 3 parts. The first part should be the opening minute. So in the opening minute or the first couple of minutes you have to let the surrogate speak and try to find out what the aim of the station is, because the paper that is given to you sometimes it is misleading. Like you will get some information like this person has got Hodgkin's disease, you have to explain it. This is the gist which you get from outside. Once you go in, it is a very common scenario. The main concern of the candidate may be, okay, my father has got a Hodgkin's disease or whatever you are telling, that's fine. I know that it's something, there is some treatment, and the first 2-3 minutes is gone. And then you try to explain that this will be the problem. Some blood doctor will, do not use hematologist or whatever oncologist, blood doctor, cancer doctor will see you. And then the surrogate tells you that my father is planning to go to some place or something, or needs to go to friends of relative who stays abroad, how much safe it is. So then you realize that the main aim of the station was regarding the safety of travel for his father, and you need to find that out in the first 2 to 3 minutes, because it's a 10-minute station. The last 2 minutes you have to give for the summary and whatever the extra information. I shall come to that, the finish which I mentioned. So you need to find out about this part in the first 3 minutes, because then you will have 4-5 minutes to discuss about that. If you find it out in the 7th minute, in the last 3 minutes you will find out about, firstly you will panic that I have spent most of my communication station discussing something which was not to be, and then you will not get for the summary. So ask early what is your concern. Now the last 2-3 sessions which I have taken here, the theory online classes, I found out that once I tell this, in the opening minute the candidate just asks that what is your concern. So do not do that. It's like more like how you do it. Suppose somebody is in here, I am the candidate, I go in, hello, I am Dr. Sangshaptak Shaha, I am the doctor in the clinic today. Are you Mr. X? And if the age is given, you can mention the age. So nice to meet you. I hope you are not waiting too long to meet me today. That will be in 30 seconds, and the rest 30 seconds. So can you tell me in brief about why you have come to meet me, or like this. But do not ask what is your concern today. Don't let that be in the opening minute, okay? So the patient will tell something that my father has come here and has done some tests, I have come to collect the reports. And then we will tell that, okay doctor, then right now this is the breaking bad news scenario which you have probably found it out outside the room. So you will tell that okay, I have the reports today, and then you do the other 2-3 things. Firstly, are you alone? Do you want somebody in the meeting today? If it is a breaking bad news, not in the other scenarios, okay, that part is gone. And then you tell that I have the reports, and I shall like to tell that too. You will tell that, okay. Then next slide, yeah. So regarding the breaking bad news, so firstly there should be a warning shot. So once you do that, it will be like, I am afraid I have the reports, but I do not have good news for you, but I have some bad news for you, and give a pause. So it will be, the line will go something like this, I have the reports today, but I do not have some good news for you, unfortunately. Pause. Then the other person is very well trained, so they will ask, doctor, please tell me what it is. Then this clarity part is once again is very important, because often the candidates, what they do is that they do not directly tell that it is a cancer, or they directly do not tell that it's something which is bad, or like other scenarios are also there, like CPR is ongoing, or we feel that it's do not intubate. So because those are also breaking bad news. So directly tell what is happening. I have the reports today, This is a disease called Hodgkin's disease. It's a sort of malignant, it's a sort of cancer, but we have some treatment for it. And then again a pause and wait what the other person is asking you or telling you. There can be three reactions to it. Firstly, the person will tell that it's somebody else's report, it cannot be my father's. Then you have to deal with it in that manner. We shall discuss that in the practical part. The second is anger. Why did it take so long? Why did not you tell me early? I have seen some GP before. Why did not he diagnose it? That sort of thing. That's another scenario. The third scenario is sadness. Okay, doctor, like what's next? These things. If this is the pattern, then it's a breaking bad news scenario, and you have to proceed in a breaking bad news scenario like way. There is a certain way to that, and this is where the scenario can go in a completely different way. You tell that one or 2 minutes you to discuss about this, and then they ask that but as a family we shall go somewhere, tickets are booked, can we go? Then it goes to something else. So you see, in the first 7 minutes, if this scenario plays it like this, and this is possibly the commonest scenario in the exam, then you shall get around 2.5 minutes maximum to address the concern. So you have to ask the concern immediately after breaking the bad news, not before that, if it's a breaking bad news scenario. If not, then whatever the primary goal of the scenario is, you have to solve that and then ask what is the concern. Because you have to, and often there are 2-3 concerns. So you have to repeatedly ask what is the concern. Suppose you have solved one concern, then you have taken us, sir, do you have any other concerns for me today? And then there will be something else. So you have to do it that way. The previous slide, yeah. I think everybody knows what spikes is. So the second point, what do they already know? So sometimes the patient will know something, that my father is having these conditions, these blood tests have been done, I have been repeatedly coming to the GP, repeatedly coming to the hospital, these sort of things. How much detail do they want? This is also very important, because what does this mean? It means that sometimes they may tell that I do not want so much details, because this is often a clue that you are going in the wrong direction. The scenario is probably something else and you are trying to explain something else to the patient's relatives. And of course the others are obvious. Give info in small chunks. You should not be speaking much. You should allow the surrogate to speak more. Silence is something which will get you marks in this exam, because sometimes the surrogates are of two types. One will tell too much, the other will not tell too much. If it is one, like other is not telling too much, always ask, do you have something more information for me? What are your concerns? Something else. Try to keep the surrogate speaking, because the instruction to them will that once you ask something like what are your concerns or these things, they will speak about their concerns. If you are not giving that clue, that cue, what are your concerns, they will not. And communications is something which is difficult for, especially for Indian students, or like when I gave the exam, I found that communications a bit difficult, because this is not how we usually speak with our patients, but that is something you need to practice. And the slide before, the previous one,
3 minutes.
this we have done, yeah. Things like what? Next, yeah.
3 minutes.
So de-escalation approach is, as after breaking bad news, this is an angry relatives thing. So suppose it can be a real mistake, like they have given some wrong reports, or the HP sample has been lost. Some examples which have come previously in the PACES. So avoid defensiveness. Okay, tell them the truth, that yes, we have lost it, we are sorry, we have set up a committee to to find out the root cause for this, and we shall get to the bottom of it. We shall ensure it does not happen in the future. But do not tell that we shall be trying to find that sample and like it's lost and we do not know what to do. Don't tell like that. Next. So previously, when I gave the exam in the previous sort, the medical ethics, these questions are asked once the first 17 minutes were gone. The last 5 minutes was for the questions to be asked. Now the situation is different. Now the questions are not asked, but these will be incorporated in a scenario. So autonomy, beneficial, non-malfeasance, justice. Whenever it's a medical ethics scenario, like a DNI, a CPR, ongoing CPR, do not intubate, do not resuscitate scenario, then you have to make sure that you are addressing these things. Next slide. And capacity, the capacity scenarios are getting a bit rare. The last are getting a bit rare. But capacity is of course decision specific. You have to make sure that the other person who is listening, or suppose you are talking to the patient or you are talking to the relative about something the patient does not want, you have to make sure that the patient understands it, retains what is being told to him, understands the the drawbacks of not agreeing for the test or not agreeing for mechanical intubation and ventilation, or agreeing for dialysis or whatever, and is able to communicate that decision, that thinking process and the final decision to you. Next. Yeah, so the most important part is closing the consultation. So summary we have told. So whatever, so directly ask the relatives that whatever you have told, can you please summarize it for me, and then see whether they have got the basic points. And the surrogate will be clearly be very much taught and experienced. So if you have done the scenario well, you will just realize the 4 or 5 basic points that they are taking, like that take home message, and then give them a contact number. Not your contact number, of course, the emergency contact number, so that they can call somebody if the patient deteriorates or they want some more help. And always mention this, the last line, pamphlets. We have got some pamphlets to share with you. This is a website. Or suppose you are describing a bronchial asthma patient, so you have already told them that you shall give them some idea about how to use the inhalers. So tell them that this website has got the correct method, the pamphlets is showing this, so you can read through it, and if you need further help you can contact it at that number. And of course, sometimes they are not happy, or you feel that you are not able to deal with everything in a short time. Always give them that consultant opinion. I forgot to tell this consultant opinion at the end, and when they gave me the full marks, only 20. But once they send you that report card, if you ask for it. So the only thing they mentioned was that did not ask for consultant opinion at the end. But yeah, so they do look forward to these things, pamphlets, websites, consultant opinions. Yeah, next slide. Few tips I think we have already discussed. Last slide. Yeah, so these are some of the common themes as I was discussing. So when you are practicing, like after the course, so always see that you are practicing all of these cases. Okay, new diagnosis discussion, treatment trees, DNI, CPR, it will be DNI, capacity assessment, and angry relatives, end of life care. Next slide. A continuation of the themes. So these are the so if you have to practice all the 4, because the way to approach these 4 in the next 5 to 6 minutes, which you will actually get in the exam if you take the first 2 and last 2 minutes out of the equation, is very limited. So always have an idea about what to do, and whatever paper they will give you outside, always write down the first 5-6 points you should not miss, and always at the end write down that you have to summarize and you have to give some extra tips at the pamphlets website, that sort of thing. Otherwise you will miss it in the heat of the exam. I think we shall discuss more about this throughout the day. So thank you.
Thank you, Sangshaptak.